over the last week, probably laced with a few energy drinks along the way also. But we may be hitting a little bit of a wall as a community and as individuals and businesses. And I don't mean hitting the temporary flood wall, I mean hitting the wall of fatigue and exhaustion. But we got a few more days yet, and things will get back to normal. Before I go into a couple remarks, I just had to, as I was sitting around last night, kind of decompressing, thinking of the whole event. My attention just focused on the Public Works Department. When you think of a Public Works Department in a community, it's truck drivers, and snow plow drivers, skid loaders, front-end loaders, people that jump in ditches and trenches and crawl through tunnels. It's kind of a man's job. It's an industry that's really dominated by men. But our leader for the Public Works Department is Jen Winters. Jen, if you just stand for a second and come up here. Jen's pretty new to the job. She's the first female in the history of Cedar Rapids to ever head up the Public Works Department. Ralph Russell on our city council recognized her talent and her ability years ago when he hired her to work at Howard R. Green. And Jeff saw everything she did at Howard R. Green and said she would be a great leader in Cedar Rapids. This flood protection system held. It didn't leak, it didn't breach. Jen Winter never cracked under all the pressure of the last several days. And I just want to publicly thank her. Jen, you are a rock star. Thank you for recognizing her. And it isn't just me, Jen, or the people in this press conference today. It's the citizens all over Cedar Rapids. To the residents of Cedar Rapids, let me say to you, welcome home. I know it was a challenging decision for you to make several days ago to honor the request of the evacuation effort. I can tell you from myself and the city council, a lot of tough decisions to make. Some of them were easy, more tough. Jeff and his team, a lot of tough. It's an easy decision, actually, to ask people to leave. I mean, it's a public safety issue. But it's also a hard decision to make because it impacts so many people, and you don't know how people are going to react. Around the country, we see in a lot of communities a tense, almost a hostile environment between citizens and the government. So going into this decision to ask people to evacuate, oftentimes the reaction of the people is based on the first step the government takes and how they take that step. And that's why we gave everyone advance notice, to give people some time to contemplate the decision and when they would move out and how they would move out and who would help them to move out. And people did. And I want to thank all the citizens that honored that request for the voluntary evacuation, because you did that, because you trusted in your government. There was less chaos in the evacuation area, and all the good workers were able to put that temporary system and all the plugs that helped prevent this disaster. So when I say welcome home, I really mean it. But we honored then our commitment to you. We kept our promise We said if you move out on Sunday, you'll be back by Saturday, and you are. See, that's how it works when governments and citizens work together for the benefit of their community. So thank you so much for that. Second, to all the businesses, I want to say welcome back. Cedar Rapids is open for business, and Cedar Rapids is back in business. First, let me address all the larger companies like Penford, Diamond V Mills, Alliant, United Fire, the banks, the law firms, Great America Leasing, Cargill, and Quaker. We need you in our community. Our citizens count on the jobs that you create. Your payroll is critical to our success, not just from the council and the leadership of the city of Cedar Rapids, but from the citizens. Remember back in 2008 when the water was eerily flowing through our downtown. No power, quiet, all you could hear was the rush of the water. And then all of a sudden, someone, I don't know who it was, over at Quaker, somehow found a way to light up that sign in our downtown. And it was the only thing that illuminated in our community was that Quaker Oats. See, we need all of these businesses in our town, and as you're all getting back into operations and cleaning up in the weeks and months, there may be some thought, maybe in a boardroom someplace, maybe an executive roundtable discussion. Cedar Rapids is a place we really want to be? The answer is yes. Cedar Rapids is the place you really want to be. Is Cedar Rapids the place you want to continue to commit and make capital investments? Yes, Cedar Rapids is the place you want to be to continue to make capital investments. Do we want to go through this again? No, we don't. But we have made such incredible progress over the last 8 years, and we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to make that progress. So my message to these larger businesses that provide the payroll and the jobs, please don't lose faith in us. Please continue to stand with us to build Cedar Rapids. The second group of businesses that I want to address, and I have a special request from the citizens of Cedar Rapids. And let me tell you why. After a disaster, oftentimes there's this federal money that comes into your town or state money that comes in your town to help your town recover and rebuild. That provides a stimulus. And that stimulus effect has a ripple effect or a multiplier effect in your community. Well, we're not going to have that this time. We're not going to have this stimulus from the federal or state government. If we're successful in getting any resources, it's really going to be for cost recovery of all the activity that's taken place. So all these businesses in Czech Village, Newbo, Kingston Village, downtown, all these retailers, these restaurants, all these establishments lost about a week's worth and maybe more of revenue. So my request of the citizens of Cedar Rapids and beyond, if you're listening, we need you to be the stimulus. We need you as the consumers to come back to these businesses and pledge over the next month, it'll be October here this weekend, to pledge over the next month that you'll visit one of these businesses, buy a meal, buy something at their retail store, have a drink 10 times over the next month in October, and you become the stimulus to help all these businesses that weren't impacted by the flooding, but they were impacted because of the flood. Will you make that one last request to me? Will you make that commitment over the next month to visit one of those businesses? And now specifically, I want to challenge the bicycle community in Cedar Rapids. The bicycle community of Cedar Rapids is a wonderful group. And I've seen bicyclists all the time around the downtown. And we've, as a city, have really made great strides in trying to provide more bike trails and more biking lanes. And I can tell you, it's been a little controversial in our community. Not everybody likes that. So will you do us a favor? Will you organize yourself in a special way over the next month? It's going to be still good weather, everybody's going to be able to bike, that you will come down and support one of those businesses 15 times. I want you in the bicycle community to do more than the average citizen. We've done a lot for you. We're asking you, will you please come down and support these businesses that were affected by your flood? If you do that, and the citizens do that, that will provide the economic stimulus to recreate the vibe that we had in our community. That's why people have fallen in love in Cedar Rapids with our community. They love coming to the downtown because of the vibe. They love going to the Czech Village because of the vibe, or Kingston because of the vibe, or Newbo because of the vibe. We don't want to lose that vibe, and you can help by committing to come down to these businesses at least 10 times over the month of October. And the bicycle community, I think you can rise to the challenge, and I'm asking you to do it 15 times. If you do that, all these businesses will get back up on our feet. We'll get that vibe back, and we'll be open for business. Thank you.